garden statuary, and finally to the wide grass bank as it spilled down and disappeared into the black water of the bay. "Did you see it?" Rachel hissed. "See what?" "The curtains." I shifted my gaze and squinted through the darkness. She was right. The drapes covering the back slider were quivering. "Probably just a heating vent," I offered. "Did you bring your gun?" she whispered. "Why in God's name would I bring a gun?" I asked incredulously. "You're a detective." "I didn't come out here to detect anything. I came out here to roll around naked with you. What would I possibly need a gun for?" She shrugged. "You're supposed to be prepared, aren't you?" "I thought I was doing pretty well." "Not that," she scoffed. "For emergencies." "Since when am I a Boy Scout?" That's as far as the banter got, because at that moment something or someone inside the Morrison house plastered the drapes against the window with enough force to bow the glass outward. "Go in the kitchen and close the door," I said. "Call 911. She opened her mouth for the inevitable discussion that preceded even the smallest of actions, but I cut her off. "Go," I said. As Rachel disappeared into the hallway, the muted sound of breaking glass found my ears. I snapped on the overhead light and, after a bit of searching, located my shoes under the far corner of the bed. By the time Rachel returned, I had reached the foyer and was shouldering myself into my brown leather jacket. "They said it could be a bit," she whispered. "What's a bit?" "She said they had a hostage situation going on at some apartment complex." I started for the front door. "You can't go out there," she hissed. "What am I gonna do?" I asked. "Just stand here while they tote the flat screen out the front door?" "Wait for the police," she insisted. "I'll just have a quick look," I said. "Go call the cops again." I evaded further discussion by easing the front door open and sliding out onto the porch. The air was cold and damp, like being wrapped in wet felt. I shivered and raised my collar against the chill. My breath became visible as I stepped out onto the flagstone walkway. Overhead, an icy wind whipped the trees back and forth like Rajneesh dancers. Somewhere in the distance, a siren whined in the night. I walked to the end of the drive and checked the street in both directions. No getaway vehicle in sight. No, nothing. Just the intermittent roar of the wind and the feel of frozen fingers on my neck. I shivered again and peeped around the shrubbery at the Morrisons' front porch. Truth be told, I was looking for a way out. I don't remember exactly what my fantasy du jour was, but you could bet it was something that sent me back inside the house, back to central heating and Rachel's warm embrace. Something we could laugh about later over cocktails. Reality, however, as it is wont, was not nearly so accommodating. The Morrisons' doorframe bristled with fresh splinters. The white four-panel door hung from a single hinge, oscillating slightly as the wind swirled about. A muddy boot print adorned the center of the door, probably not the UPS guy, I figured. I heaved an inward sigh. I don't know exactly what propelled me forward. I'd prefer to think I was motivated by a sense of responsibility, of being my brother's keeper or something vaguely noble like that. But when you look at my history, it's hard to attribute it to anything except the same mule-headed stupidity that's taken a chunk out of my hide so many times in the past. I guess some folks just never learn. I listened intently for a faraway siren, hoping I could convince myself to hang in there until the cavalry arrived. But no matter how hard I listened, nothing was audible above the freeway roar of the wind in the trees. I stifled a sigh and started crabbing down the concrete walk, moving slowly, my head on a swivel, half expecting somebody to leap from the bushes and attack me. I turned my shoulders sideways and edged through the prickly doorframe one slide step at a time, dropping my eyes to the littered carpet, making damn sure I didn't step on anything. Somewhere in front of me, a calliope of crashing echoed through the house. Sounded like somebody had swept the kitchen counter clean and was now kicking about in the rubble. I was inching in